Hello and good afternoon. I would first like to thank each of you for taking time out of your busy day to attend this training. I am Shundra Freeman, the guidance counselor for pre-K programs here in Santa Rosa County. I have been in education in some form for a total of 13 years, serving in different capacities, from a speech therapist, a provisional deaf interpreter, inclusion teacher, department chair, and guidance counselor. I thoroughly enjoy what I do. I am married with 3 children. Bryson is 13, Mason is 7, and Addison Grace is 19 months. So I get it. I understand. My children are very active in sports, so my house is chaotic most of the time. I'm not professing to be an expert, and I know that things that may work for one may not necessarily work for others. But if you are invested in trying to learn different tips, then you are in the right place. You will hear me reference Dr. Becky Bailey frequently in this training. She is the founder of Conscious Discipline, the behavior management program that we use in our pre-K program.
After being cut from his high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. He wasn't able to speak until he was almost 4 years old, and his teachers said he would never amount to much. Was demoted from her job as a news anchor because she wasn't fit for television. Fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. At age 11, he was cut from his team after being diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency, which made him smaller in stature than most kids his age. At 30 years old, he was left devastated and depressed after being unceremoniously removed from the company he started. A high school dropout whose personal struggles with drugs and poverty culminated in an unsuccessful suicide attempt. A teacher told him he was too stupid to learn anything and that he should go into a field where he might succeed by virtue of his pleasant personality. Rejected by Decca Recording Studios, who said, "We don't like their sound. They have no future in show business." His first book was rejected by 27 publishers. His fiancée died, failed in business, had a nervous breakdown, and was defeated in 8 elections. If you've never failed, you've never tried anything new.
So, I showed you that video to say that we can't experience success without failure. I was wowed when I was shown the video. I would have never imagined that Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, or the great Albert Einstein
I wish I had enough time to cover everything, but I don't. So I'm going to pick out.
Did not speak until he was 4 years old. Walt Disney being fired from his newspaper job for lacking imagination. It doesn't matter that we aren't perfect. What matters most is what has been done to work towards our goal. It starts with you. Today, I will address self-regulation and emotional well-being. Raise your hand if you've said to yourself, I've promised myself that I will calm down before speaking in anger to my children. According to Dr. Becky Bailey, if we are unable to manage our emotional state in wise ways, we probably aren't very good at helping our children manage theirs. I'll say that again. If we're unable to manage our emotional states in wise ways, then we probably aren't very good at helping our children manage theirs. We sometimes find ourselves acting out of emotions on our children. If you're screaming, "Shut up! I don't want to hear another word out of your mouth. You should know better than this." We are modeling the exact behaviors that we find disturbing. When our emotional buildup becomes too much to tolerate, then boom, we find temporary relief in verbally and/or physically attacking others. It starts with us. Self-regulation is the foundational component to emotional well-being and lifelong success. Dr. Bailey describes it as the conscious and unconscious ability to regulate our thoughts, feelings, and actions. We're going to use 5 steps to self-regulation. 5 steps of self-regulation. I am, I calm, I feel, I choose, and I solve. Step 1, I am. I am is knowing your emotion. I am angry, I am mad, I am upset, I am anxious. Step 2, I calm. This is where we start to become aware of our emotion. Dr. Bailey says it's important not to ignore the emotion. So if you have to use breathing exercises if necessary, so that you can able to calm yourself down and move forward. Step 3, I feel. Identify and name the feeling or the emotion. Identify and name the feeling or the emotion. With children, we actually have them to name the emotion. I feel sad. I feel angry. Hopefully shifting from I am sad, I am angry to I feel sad or I feel angry. So identifying and naming that emotion or that feeling. Step 4, I choose. Accept your feeling, and I choose, you are accepting your feeling. Dr. Bailey refers to it as befriending our feeling. When we choose to see it from a different perspective so that we can move forward. It shows that you are willing to change the feeling of distress to one of calm. And step 5, I solve. Again, according to Dr. Becky Bailey, awareness is the key to regulation. Awareness will help guide you to make the best decision. Think about this. Sometimes you may find yourself eating a little too much, drinking a little too much, exercising a little too much, or working a little too much. These are unconscious habits that become our way of regulating our emotional state. These behaviors and life addictions begin to eat away at our connections with others, ultimately sabotaging our own lives in an attempt to regulate our emotions. Emotional well-being equals mental health, physical health, social health, and cognitive health. Pause for a moment and reflect on your own emotional well-being. Can you identify what you are feeling at the time you are feeling it? Personally, it could take me hours, days, weeks, and sometimes years to truly figure out the true feeling I was feeling at a particular moment or in a particular situation. I know you're here today to learn of some ways to help reduce chaos in your home. So let's get to the meat of the training. First, we're going to talk about how do I handle temper tantrums. First, you have to understand what a temper tantrum is. A temper tantrum is an uncontrolled outburst of anger that usually arises from a child's efforts to control a situation. An uncontrolled, keyword, outburst of anger that usually arises from a child's efforts to control a situation. The tantrum says, I have tried desperately to make the world go my way. Now I'm frazzled, I can barely speak, I feel terrified, helpless, and powerless. Both children and adults have tantrums. Tantrums are most typical for children ages 15 months to 3 years. These small children are battling between dependence and independence. Also, they have limited skills to influence the events that take place in their lives. So meltdowns do and can occur frequently. The outburst generally reflects the child's inner struggle. However, certain parental practices encourage tantrums to continue far past the toddler years. I'm going to repeat that. Certain parental practices encourage tantrums to continue far past the toddler years. Some of these practices are inconsistency, expectations being too high, undue strictness, overprotectiveness, overindulgence, and a lack of assertive limit setting. Given into children when they're having tantrums guarantees that you will get more demanding behaviors in the future. Given into children when they are having tantrums guarantees you will get more of those demanding behaviors in the future. Your response to their upset teaches them how to behave in order to get what they want. So if you have a child that's throwing a temper tantrum and you give in to that child, then more than likely, research shows you'll see more of those tantrums to follow. Stopping a tantrum once it is set in action is impossible. Instead, our role as parents is to help our children move through those tantrums. I have a book that I would like to share with you. It is, I was going to show you the cover of the book. I'm not seeing it on my desktop. Okay. That's okay. You can look it up. Just Google it. Google it. I did want to show you the cover of the book, but in Dr. Bailey's book, Easy to Love, difficult to discipline, she explains how to help children calm down so they can move through their tantrums more quickly, and also how to wire children's brains for greater self-control, eventually resulting in fewer tantrums. Okay. Number 1, she talks about discipline yourself first and your child second. That's very important. Discipline yourself first and your child second. So take several deep breaths before you begin to speak. Make your insides as calm as you would like to see your child become. Then say to the child, "You're safe. You can handle this. Breathe with me." Number 2, use empathy and reflection to help the child become aware of him or herself. Help establish body awareness by stating what you see. Your arms are going like this, and your face looks like this. Your body is telling me that you might be feeling frustrated. And then number 3, shift the focus to what you want the child to do and offer 2 positive choices to help him or her successfully meet your expectations. You might say, you have a choice. You can have a snack in your car seat or have a snack when we get home. Which would you choose? The core skill that would help you through a temper tantrum is keeping your cool. Your upset will only fuel your child's fire. Instead, use active calming techniques such as deep breathing to help manage these difficult but developmental normal fits. I'm going to repeat that because that's very important. Use active calming techniques such as deep breathing to help manage these difficult but developmentally normal fits. You heard it right. As in any conflict situation, focus on what you want your child to do. In terms of tantrums, the behavior or the state of being that you want from your child, or you want your child to be in, is calm. Your job is to focus on calm. Model calmness yourself. This may sound particularly difficult in the face of a screaming 3-year-old, but can we really expect a 3-year-old to keep his cool if we can't stay cool ourselves? Here's an example. Your toddler wants a bag of candy he spied in the grocery store. You say, "No." He crashes to the floor, screaming. You're feeling angry, embarrassed, exhausted, and at your wit's end. You feel like everyone's looking at you. First, take 3 deep breaths to help calm the stress response in your body. Then discipline yourself with the affirmation, "I'm safe. Keep breathing. I can handle this. Keep breathing. Way to go." You've just set the internal foundation needed to teach your child how to handle frustration and become calm. Now you can address your upset child. Be encouraging. Get down at eye level with him or her and say, "You can handle this. Breathe with me. You're safe." Scoop him up. Hold him in your arms and breathe deeply with him. When his body relaxes a little, say, "There you go. You're calming down." Then tell him he has a choice. You can sit in the cart and hold the list, or you can sit in the cart and hold your truck. Once he makes his choice, celebrate your success together. You did it. You calmed yourself down, and that's hard to do. I do want to mention this about making choices. Make sure that they are practical and that it's something that can be achieved at that moment, okay? Let's face it, some situations are more likely to evoke upset than others. The keys to navigating these rough waters are composure, assertiveness, encouragement, and choices. First and foremost, you must remain calm and in control of your own internal state. Breathe deeply and use affirmations to assist yourself in this process. Next, focus on assertive language with your child. Give an assertive command that paints a picture of what you want the child to do. For example, it's time to get out of the tub. Reach your hands up. If the child complies, say you're doing great. Your hands are up just like this. Model that for the child. If the child refuses, say, I'm going to help you start getting out. If the child complies this time, say, that's it. You're doing it. It's hard to stop when you're having fun. If the child refuses and turns and jerks away, notice the child's body by saying, your arms went like this and your head went like this. When your child looks to see what you're doing, take a deep breath and say, there you are. Then offer two positive choices, such as, you can get out of the water into the towel, or you can pull the plug and then get into the towel. Which do you choose? This will be hard at first, and you may not see immediate change, but know change is coming. Stay consistent and stay the course. Another hot topic is, why does everything turn into a power struggle? People create power struggles when they feel powerless. With young children, power struggles often occur after giving the child a command or when the child is tired, hungry, or otherwise stressed. Knowledge of a child development, connection, and active calming would help you to lessen power struggles. You hear there? Three things that will help lessen power struggles. Knowledge of child development, connection, and active calming. Let's start with child development. Before age 6, children process information 12 times slower than adults. Before age 6, children process information 12 times slower than adults. So, what that saying is, we must slow down our speech and give only 1 or 2 commands at a time. If we speak at a normal pace and say, finish your snack, get your crayons, and go color in the TV room, the child may only process bits of information. Hearing, crayons, color the TV. Young children cannot conjugate the word don't. When we say, don't touch the lamp, they hear, touch the lamp. They look at you with a smile and touch the lamp. We think, you wicked child, you deliberately defied me, and enter power struggle territory. Instead of using don't, pivot and tell the child what to do. Don't touch the lamp becomes hold my hand, offering your hand so you can learn how to touch delicate things softly. Finally, the brain is a pattern-seeking device. The more consistent your routines are, the easier it is for the brain to pick up on the pattern. The brain is a pattern-seeking device. The more consistent your routines are, the easier it is for the brain to pick up patterns. The second thing in lessening power struggles was connection. connection. That's the motivation to behave. The motivation to behave comes from relationships. The motivation to behave comes from being in relationships. Now, research indicates that 5 minutes a day of focused play with children ages 5 and under reduces power struggles by 50%. You heard it right. Only 5 minutes of focused play a day can reduce power struggles by 50%. Make connections with your children. And the third step in helping to lessen power struggles is active calming. Finally, the absolute key for staying in control of yourself and helping to avoid power struggles is active calming. In conscious discipline, Dr. Bailey calls it being a star, which stands for smile, take a deep breath, and relax.
Conscious discipline is a comprehensive self-regulation program that involves many things, but one of them is belly breathing, and we call it being a star. Star means smile, take a deep breath, and relax. In being a star, there's some important things to remember. First, you're breathing from your belly, so it's not shallow breathing from your chest. It's from your belly. So I encourage you to practice this with actually having your hand on your belly, and you're going to smile, which just starts to relax the muscles in your face. Once you relax your jaw, your internal state automatically starts shifting. Take a deep breath. Your belly's going to go out. And relax. Have your belly go in. If you notice what I just did, my exhale was longer than my inhale. The focus is on the exhale. When we breathe in, we take in the beauty of life. When we exhale, we let go of that which is no longer needed, the bitterness, the resentfulness we carry around, and the harshness of the morning, allowing us each moment to take in a new perspective and a new outlook on life. If you're not breathing deeply from your belly, you're breathing from your shoulders generally. It looks like this. A deep breath would look. That's a bull ready to fight, not a belly relaxing the body. Also, we breathe very shallowly. You can't even see any movement. And so it's from the chest and just barely movement here. One. Shallow breathing is a sign, as it continues to be more shallow, a sign of depression. So how would we teach this to children with special needs? How would we teach this to 2-year-olds or toddlers? First, we can use our new star breathing tool. So you have the children smell the flower. We want them to breathe through their nose, so often we will touch their nose and say, smell the flower. So they would touch their nose, they go, and then they exhale and blow out the pinwheel through their mouth. This allows them to exhale longer, which will automatically make the inhale longer the next time, causing more movement in the belly. Each Tuesday in our staff meetings, we take a few deep breaths to kind of center ourselves as part of our Brain Smart Start. One of the things that you're asked is just to notice your breathing. And as you just notice, like right now, whoever's watching, just notice, is that breathing shallow? Is it deep? Where are you breathing from? Are you breathing much at all? And so just noticing that breath automatically starts to change it. So as you notice it, you'll notice yourself starting to, go back to that which is natural. That natural belly breathing is natural when we notice it and we're in the present moment. But when we're off thinking about things we need to get done or should be doing, our breathing becomes very shallow because we're in a fight or flight situation, always on high alert, thinking we don't have time to get this done. So once again, everyone smile, take a deep breath, and just relax.
3 deep breaths would turn the stress response off in the body. Once you're able to regulate your inner state through deep breathing, you obtain access to the highest centers of the brain. While you're taking these deep breaths, Affirm to yourself, I am safe, I feel calm, I can handle this. These words are chosen based on research. They unhook you from the survival center of your brain and plug you into the rational part of your brain. Now you can respond calmly in the face of a power struggle. Remember this word, composure, being the person you want others to become. No one can make you angry without your permission. So being that person that you want to see in your children. Make a commitment today. Make a commitment today. In the words of Kid President, it's time to do something. This is your time. This is my time. This is our time. In order to reduce chaos in your home, it will start with you. Have a great day.